Okay guys, this is April 30th. We've had a storm come through here, a real bad storm, knocked power out. It's about probably about 9:45 a.m. The power's been out since 5 o'clock p.m. yesterday. So I'm gonna go around the neighborhood and see what I can find on the e-bike. Okay. All right. I was hoping that didn't catch the motor. Well, I'll tell you what, if it did, I gotta get my wife to come to the door to let me in the house. Okay, what I did is there's a sensor underneath the control pad here. I put a piece of black tape over the sensor so my headlight will stay on all the time. That's what I did. This is dangerous around here, guys. Very, very dangerous place. Okay. Now, why the hell? My goggles are fogging up. All right. Ooh, is that cold? Oh, they opened that up there. They did have a tree down on that street there. I'm hoping that that's what pulled our lines down. I hope. All right, no one coming. I can make this left. Look at all this. All these small branches came down. Man, is that cold. It is cold, guys. It's only like 55. That's all it is. Maybe 50, 52, 55. And then with the wind chill, it's probably maybe 45. See this street right here, this is the new plan. Most of the homes on that street there I was just on, they have wires underground. Okay. That street there, they have wires. That's an old plan. And then this street here, wires are on telephone poles too. There's another tree down here. Looks like this is pulling a wire. That could be it right there. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at all the fence damage, guys. Oh man, that's gonna cost him. I think that's just telephone and internet. I don't think that's the I don't think that's electrical. A nice Jeep. I got solar, and I don't know about solar. I'm thinking of buying a generator, guys. You know, because we'll lose power probably about a good dozen times this year. Oh yeah, it'll happen at least a dozen times. And I'm thinking of buying a small generator, just enough to run maybe like the refrigerator. Enough to run a refrigerator and maybe 1 or 2 fans. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I think the line that came down was on this street here. I'm gonna go up it. I don't see no line down. Street's not closed. Oh man, is it cold? All right, let's go down here. I saw a tree come down here. There was a tree down here earlier I saw. Yeah, there, that's one of his pines. That's a dead pine. One. Another one here. See, like, it's like you notice there's no lines above ground here either. Man, people are bored without the internet, boy. I know I am. I am bored without the internet, boy. Okay. Here's a generator. Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy one, guys. You know, we'll lose power here. We'll lose power here at least 10 to 12 times this year. And I'm not kidding. You guys think I'm kidding? You guys think you think I'm joshing you. You know, guys, every year this street loses power, and the streets on each side have electricity. So yeah, I'm gonna look for something to run, like a refrigerator and a couple fans. That's about it. I just tried the light. No power still. I mean, that one tree where it destroyed that guy's fence, those are, I know one of them is internet. You know, one of them is the internet, and I think the other one is a phone line, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I think electrical wires are the higher wires. I think they are. I might be mistaken. I might be wrong. But those wires weren't broken anyway. They're, you know, the tree's just leaning up against it. They're not broken. You know, now if you look in the outage map, this area here, all those streets that just went up and down, up to where the reservoir is, there's 195 people without power in this area, and we're one of them. Now, I can't find any lines down. So I don't know. Like guys, like I said, this happens at least a dozen times a year here. Every year it's the same crap. Once the hot weather starts, we have these horrendous storms, just knock the power out for hours. Sometimes, one time I think it was for 3 days, might have been 4 days. You know, and you lose everything in the refrigerator. You gotta live by a flashlight. You have no internet. Right now I have no internet. I mean, I have internet on my one phone, but you know, I have to pay. It's not unlimited. I have to pay for it, and I'll use up all my I'll use my gigabytes up on my one phone. So yeah, I think I'm going to buy a generator. I'm going to buy a small generator, a little gas generator. I was going to do it last year, you know, and I never got around to it. Then I ordered 20 more Conchos because I want to have them as spares, and a bottle of muscle pills of you know, not muscle pills for these muscles, the green lip muscle pills. And it showed that Amazon dropped the package on the porch. I couldn't find the package. Where was the package? At the end of my driveway. It was soaked. So, thank God I found it. Now, alright guys, I don't know when I'll be able to download this movie, the video, because I have no power. So it'll probably be tomorrow, if our power comes back on. Okay guys, we're still without power. It's like 45 hours later. I found out what happened. So I'm going to take a ride there and I'll show you guys. I can't go very far, so here's what happened, guys. Looks like his garage there. His garage got lifted out. A big tree there's took all these lines down. I think that pole there is tilted, and they might be able to get away with that. Look, his roof over there is done. That's why we don't have any electricity, guys. Looks like there's damage over there too. Oh man, it messed his house up, boy. Now that pole there is tilted a little bit, but they might be able to get away with that. Got all the crap in the yard. The side of this building here was taken off. That was taken off. Sounds like I got a pad dragging my front one. I'll see if I can go in the park there. By the way, I did buy a generator. I bought a generator on Amazon, guys. I should be getting it on Sunday. And we got these two. Top it up, man. I like that pine tree too. I've been they'll probably have to chop the whole tree down. I think you guys seen that. All right, let me see if I can go on the other side of this park here, of the ball field, I mean. A nice piece of foam. Usually what I do is something like that, a piece of foam like that, so I make sponges out of it. That's what I do with that. Oh yeah, they got some nice damage here, boy. Look at that. That poor son of a bitch had that tree come down at his house like that. This must have got toppled over. Well, they could probably repair that. Yeah, so I got a generator on Amazon for $469. It's supposed to be delivered here on Sunday, which we probably still won't have power by Sunday. I also bought another emergency light too. It's on low power. It's supposed to stay on for 14 days. So but as for us guys, the only thing that really happened is we just lost power. Thank God, boy, that roof's finished. I think that's an elderly couple too that lives in there. There's trees and lines down all over the place, but that one over there, that's why we don't have this whole area doesn't have electricity. All these streets here, I even think that street there that I just come down, it's a new plan. I don't think they have power there either. And that side there, no power. This main drag here doesn't have power. I thought I was able to charge my Jackery on the Jeep because I have an AC outlet, and that Jeep has an inverter, guys, and it has a ooh, I just got a Charlie horse, and it has an AC outlet, but it only charges it's only capable of 150 watts. So it wasn't charging that at all, and that's down to 32%. And that's what we run our TV with. So I can't. I'm gonna have to wait till I go to work to charge that. So we're gonna have to tough it out. Maybe, you know what, we might have to just turn the radio on tonight, listen to the radio. Because I will tell you what, my power isn't going to be turned on for, they're saying 5 to 7 days. And I see why now. Okay guys, we're going to go see the site where all the wires are down. Because I still don't have electricity. 5 days now. 5 days we're still out of power. Yep, 5 days, guys. My generator is supposed to come in today, by the way. And my my emergency light. So that'll help a little bit. I did get an 08 error code flashing on this. But I think I resolved it. And it has something to do with the front motor. That's what it was before. When I used to get that code before. It was the front motor. So alright, let's see if there's any trucks up there. Or are they still dogging us? It's a little cold without my jacket. Down Outer Banks, if I take this down Outer Banks and my front motor stops working, you know, that's all flat down there. That's all flat. I think I see, yeah, it looks like they're over here. I think I finally see emergency trucks. Finally. Wow, look at this, guys. Look at these wires. God dang. That's what I wanted to see, guys. I'm glad they at least they're going to start, boy, because I'll tell you what, man, being without electricity for 5 days, guys. I'll tell you what hurts me the most is being without the internet, because I am a news junkie. I'm a news junkie. I have to always know what's going on with the news. I'm gonna turn around here. I ain't going in the water with this. Man, look at the ball field, man. It's all water. Yeah, so this was kicking a blinking 08 error code. And what I did is I disconnected both leads going to the motor, and I gave the front one there, I gave that front line a little bit more slack, and I torqued my front acorn bolts to 60 foot-pounds and the rear ones at 60 foot-pounds. You know what? I think they want me off the street. 'Cause I don't want to have to go through the mud with this. It looks like they're going to finally get it fixed.
Well, they have their hands full, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got their hands full, that's for sure. That's a nice bike.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been checking on that the last 30 days. I'll tell you, it sucks being without power.
Yeah. Are you the guy who works for a Port Authority?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought I recognized. Yeah.
The main thing that hurts me is the internet, not being without the internet.
A lot of people.
Because I'm a news junkie.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are just, work from home now.
Yeah.
There's just so much damage,
And we just ordered a generator on Amazon. That's supposed to come in today.
Yeah.
But I've lived up here since '82.
Right.
And there will be more blackouts.
Oh, yeah.
And it happens at least 10 times.
It's always right here.
Once it's like 95 out and everyone's running the air conditioner,
yeah.
It'll go out again and again.
Yeah. My buddy Matt, he grew up on Elizabeth Street, the one with the swimming pool, the Skellies, and he's been there or here, and he said it always goes out.
You got to have a lot of good flashlights living here.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, take care.
You too, man. How fast does that thing go?
This can go about 200 miles and goes about 45 miles an hour.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It costed a lot. It cost
I'm sure, but still.
$2,700.
It's worth the ride.
I got this just to be able to go get my car during inspection.
Oh.
Because I'm 63,
right.
And I usually bring the car down to Randig, then walking back's the son of a gun.
Right.
So I got a little cargo thing for this where I load it on the back of the car, and I ride back with this, and then when the car is ready, I go get it on this.
That's cool. Good move.
All right, well, take care.
Have a good day, man.
Yeah, you need a lot of flashlights living around this damn place, boy, I tell you that. That's for sure. I'm glad to see them Duquesne light trucks there, boy. Oh man, I'll tell you guys. For a minute there, I thought I wasn't going to see him there. But like I was telling that guy there, the power will go out at least 10 more times around here. Like he said, this is a bad area. You know, the grid here for some reason is very weak. Very weak grid here, guys. But see, like if I take this, non-Outer Banks and my front motor decides to take a poop on me, I can only ride this around on the rear motor, you know. There too. I didn't see that. Drive like your kids live here. That's just the thing you don't want them to do. Come on, birds, get out of the way. I was going to say, I know they have an electric fence there. I was going to say, I hope they're not letting no dogs run loose. So they should have the power restored today. Oh, thank God they're there. Oh yeah, you look at that tree, guys. I see it now, man. Oh yeah, you got a nice little... Oh yeah, boy, that's a big one. Oh yeah. See, my chainsaw could take care of that. That's a big one, boy. Oh man. I hope there wasn't a car there. If there is, that car is destroyed. Now he has solar. What the hell does he have a generator going for, guys? That house right there, man. He has solar. Why does he have a generator going if you have solar? Shouldn't your house be running off the generator or off the solar? I don't get that, man. See, I used to want a solar system, but from what I understand, it sucks. You know, I think the best thing to have is a Generac generator. There's a generator going. don't understand that. What's the sense of having a damn solar then? See, I don't fight the cars, guys. I let them pass me, man. Because this is no match for a car. That's a giant poodle back there barking. You guys, you know what I meant? When you live in an area like this all your life, you know every single dog in the area. Yeah, that little mirror's new. I wonder if I bet the homeowner put that up. Well, I'm glad my code didn't pop up. Don't worry, little buddy, I'm not gonna kill you. You gotta see a rabbit, man. Give me that rabbit. All right, so I had both motors going right now, and I have, as you see, I have both motors, and I have the what's that called? The Max. The I call it the Push, but it's also called the Extra. It's like, here, let me show you guys here. See, right now, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Hold on a second, guys. Let me take off my goggles, man, and I'll point this at the hickey. Okay, see, I have the rear wheel, the rear motor. You can switch to the front one. That's both of them. And see how both wheels light up? That's called boost. And I have it on number 5, pedal assist 5. That's basically, this is the maximum power this has. So here, let me show you what I did with the front motor. I think I understand why this shoots that code up now. These motors are, the Hall sensors in them are very sensitive. Let's turn this off first of all. Oh, all right. So, basically, that's what I did there. I have it to where it's wrapped around the front like this, and it doesn't go at an angle. It goes straight in. As you guys see, I took my sliders off. I still got my anti-drop brackets I made. Sorry guys, I got them on. I still got my spools on, but I have these torqued to 60 foot-pounds, both sides, the front and back. And another thing I did too, especially with my rear caliper, is I just have these hand tightened, and I have thread locker on the caliper bolts. That way they float. That's why you don't hear this squeaking against the rotor. So that's the trick to these. Put thread locker on these. I have the white thread locker. I like that the best. And you just hand tighten them. Don't, just make sure they're just tight enough, and that's it. That way these will float. I still don't know if I want to take it down Outer Banks. Ah, guys. Yeah, let me show you the thread locker I buy, guys. This stuff is strong, I'll tell you. It's also very hard to get bolts off once you put that on. Very tough to get your bolts off, guys. We're going to start this up. I put gas in this. Now, since I got the generator coming, I got to buy one more gas can. It's like I was telling that guy, the power will go out again here. It'll go out again. It's the way this area is. That's about right. I put 2 gallons in it. Because I was at, I think I was at an 1/8 of a tank. So, you know, I have one 2-gallon gas can, guys. So what I need is, my generator holds 4 gallons. I have to buy another gas can. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how much a 4-gallon gas can is. If they're under 30 bucks, I'll get one of those, or like a 5-gallon. If they're too much, I'll just get another 2-gallon. And I have, in the Jeep right now, I have my other gas can. So I have to fill that up. I have to fill the new one up because the generator's coming today. And we'll probably have the lights. The lights will probably be on tonight. Because as you've seen, they got a bunch. I think there's like 4 trucks over there. So I'm going to fill them up. I got my laundry in the Jeep. I'm going to do my. They let me do my laundry at work in a situation like this. And I also have the Jackery in there. I'm going to charge my Jackery up at work. And what I'm going to show you guys once the power comes back on is what as you see, my garage still leaks here too. I got to pull that front off and repair that. That's another thing on Daddy's list. So I'm going to show you guys the best things to have to be prepared for a blackout, a long blackout. You know, and the stuff's going to cost some money. It's going to cost some money. This stuff's not cheap. That Jackery 500 cost me $499, 500 bucks, basically. It's $1 a watt is what you pay for. And if you want the Jackery 1000, you're looking at $1,000. You know, but they're good to have because you could charge all your electronic devices in that, guys. And the thing will hold a charge literally for years. And then the NOCO charger, the NOCO jumper I got for the big dog, that also can recharge electronic devices and has a flashlight built into it. So once they restore the electricity, if they restore it, I'll go over all this stuff with y'all. Okay, guys. As you see, I got pet here from my suburban husky in here. My Siberian husky. Okay, suburban. She is a suburban. Look at her up there. Okay, so my vacuum doesn't even pick this up. It's very hard to get out. So I thought of something. A brass bristle brush. Look how hard it is, guys. Look how hard it is to get up, man. It gets it up. Okay, then what you got to do is you take the brush outside and you take the hair off. Then maybe what we'll do is we'll go over it with a vacuum again. But it gets it off. See that area there? Well, look at this area here. See, it takes the hair out, and then go over this with a vacuum again. But it's very hard to get out. Man, is it cold outside. It's like 37 degrees out. Now look, guys, look. Now, I even got to do my glasses case. What I'm thinking of doing with this is I'm thinking of buying more of these or maybe something different. And I'm thinking of covering my entire glasses case with some kind of conchos. I'll have to see what I can run across on Amazon. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm gonna just do the whole thing up with conchos. But yeah, that's the best thing to do. If you can't get your pet hair out of the carpet, get a brass bristle brush like that. I got 2 of them on Amazon for like $8.99, or it might have even been $9.99. Because I'll be honest with you, the vacuum doesn't get them out. It doesn't take that. It doesn't lift those out. Because they kind of like cling to the carpet. So a brass bristle brush is going to be the only thing that's going to get those off the carpet. And then you go over with the vacuum some more. See, we were going to originally rent a Jeep. And I had one ready for this September. Excuse me. I just had like a little piece of hoagie. Every time I eat, I get this phlegm in my throat. It makes phlegm. So we were gonna rent either a Jeep, or if they couldn't come up with a Jeep, they would have to give us an SUV. And with budget, they don't allow pets in their cars, in their vehicles. But a lot of people take them anyway. They don't say anything. Excuse me for a second, guys. Okay, I got it out. A lot of people take pets anyway, and then they clean the car up real good, and they don't tell budget, oh, by the way, we took our pet on vacation with us while we rented your SUV. I would have had a heck of a time to get the hair out of that rental, man. Heck of a time. Unless you get like a van, like a cargo van, which I was thinking of doing that too. But you see, guys, I love my dogs, okay? And with a cargo van, she can't look out of the windows when we're going down a highway. That's why I took the seats out of the Jeep, so she can jump in the Jeep easier. And a lot of people, they don't view animals like I view animals. I try to give animals their rights. I try to treat them very, very well. And, I guess my sister would, I can't even call her. I'm ashamed to say that. I'm ashamed to say my sister. The person that's portraying to be my sister, I guess she feels that I treated my dogs better than her. Well, that's because they treated me better than she treated me. And but that's why I treat my dogs very good, guys. I treat them better than people because they've treated me better than people. You know, my whole house is for my dog. The non-slip tile. Those that the main floor is all tile. That tile has the least slip resistant surface besides concrete. But for a porcelain tile, they're I forget what the grading is for slip resistance, but it's a very, very low slip resistance. You know, well, I guess you can call it a high slip resistance. I think that's what I mean. Because low would mean then it's slippery, so high means it's not slippery at all. But those tiles up there are some of the highest you could possibly buy. That's why I bought them. Let me see, what else did I want to tell you guys? There's something else I wanted to tell you guys. Oh yeah, I don't know if I show you guys my grips. I got my grips done. Let me show you the grips. Got that one over there. We put these wooden bones, guys. I put these on the end of the mat. See how I stitched the top? I should have did that down bottom too. I should have did that. But you know, the reason why I did it up here is I'm thinking maybe the lace will hold on to the grip more and I won't slide off. So we're going to try that out. I couldn't make, I wanted to make an end here. I would have had to sew the ends on. Then I wanted to put a concho in here. But it was just too hard. Maybe this winter I'll make another set and I'll put a concho, nice bit. I'll get like a nice big concho for here, a nice big turquoise concho. Hey, somebody bought the big dog, by the way. She's gone, man. Someone up in Michigan bought it. Good luck. You know, the one thing with that bike, no matter what I did, it drained the battery down. Because what I found out about those is the computer's always on. That's what I found. I mean, you won't, when you look at the lights on the modules, you won't see the lights turned on until you start turning the ignition on. But that computer's always running. And that's what drains the battery down. So that's why if I would have kept it, my plan was to put I don't know if you guys ever saw those switches that go on boats. They're like about that big, and they got a real big knob. They're marine battery switches. I think that's what they're called. I was going to put one of those on the battery. So basically, what that would have did is that would have intercepted the battery from going, or excuse me, that would have intercepted the battery cables from going into the battery. The battery cables would have went in that first. And since I had big cables, I would have had to get a heavy duty switch. And, you know, that's what the cables go in the switch. Then when you turn the switch off, it turns the juice off going into the bike. So that was going to be like my last resort deal. But I never went ahead with doing that. But you know, I mean, I had the bike on a trickle charger too. So don't say, oh well, maybe you should have had it on a trickle charger. No, I had it on a trickle charger all the time. Okay, and it still didn't do any good. Matter of fact, the day I drove that, the day I rode it over to Harley Davidson, I had to put my jumper box inside the I had, since I didn't put I didn't give the bike away with saddlebags, thank God. They didn't get over on me on that. I had to put the jumper box inside my leather jacket. And so I came in the garage that day. I went to get on the big dog. Click, 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 click. So I had to jump it with my jumper box in order to get it to the dealer. Then I know the dealer started it to test ride it up. So I don't know if it started right up for them or if they had to jump it. I don't remember. But I always had problems with that thing draining down that damn battery. I'll tell you what I should have did, guys. I should have never got rid of my Hayabusa. You know, I mean, actually, I should have never even bought that. I should have never bought it. You know, motorcycles, man. Once you start dumping money into motorcycles, that's it. You have gone beyond the point of no return. You know, motorcycles, they take a lot of money. I'll tell you another thing too. If you want to buy a good motorcycle, shop motorcycles in the Northeast, because most guys in the Northeast that own motorcycles, the bikes sit in the garage for 6 months, sometimes more, because of the weather is so crappy up here. We have 6 months of cold weather up here. And so most motorcycles in the Northeast, they just sit in the garages, like mine does. Then there's a handful of days where you can actually ride it. So most motorcycles from the Northeast are taken care of very well, as long as they're garaged. If they leave them outside, that's one thing you need to make sure of. Were they stored inside or outside? But I should have never got back into bikes, guys. I should have never bought the Hayabusa, because I nearly killed myself on the Hayabusa a couple times. You know, I used to, man, the what the four wheelers would do to me coming home from work. You know what I would do? I would get on my Hayabusa and exact revenge out on people on the road, because the Hayabusa had tremendous amounts of power. The cars are no match for that. They're no match. Even the police, they're no match whatsoever. They're no match for it. You know, and that was a big mistake for me to think that. For me to get on that motorcycle, for me to get on the Hayabusa and have revenge on people on the road. That's the worst thing you could possibly do on a motorcycle. You know, if you're trying to get back at somebody, don't go on your motorcycle. Because you can get killed very easily. And people today, they won't even stop. They'll hit and run you. They do a lot of that around here. A lot of hit and runs around here, guys. So, all right, I just wanted to show you guys, man, that what I found out about getting animal hair off of a car carpet. Try that brass bristle brush. It seems to like that's the only thing that does it. All right, guys, I don't know how good this video is going to come out, because as you see, we're still living with flashlights here. The power still isn't on. At the time of this recording, it's been 3 days. They claim power's not supposed to be restored anywhere from 5 to 7 days. That the wire is down where I showed you guys in this video, that's why we don't have power here. That took out it took out 2,600 residents. There's not even a utility truck in sight. They're not even on that site yet. Because what they're trying to do is Duquesne Light is the company. What they're trying to do is they're trying to take on all this by themselves, and you can't do that. So my question is, since this has been declared a disaster, why can't they get out of state utility companies to come in and help with this? Then everybody's power would be restored within like 4 days. This would Well, I have power right now. Why are they trying to? Why is Duquesne Light, which is our utility provider, why are they trying to take all this on by themselves? They don't have the manpower. They don't have the trucks. Guys, I'll tell you why. I know why. I've lived here long enough, 63 years, to know why. The problem, you know the area. I don't live in Pittsburgh. I live in the suburbs around Pittsburgh. Thank God my father and mother had the presence of mind to move out of Pittsburgh in 1982. So the way I call Pittsburgh, I call it Pastburg because they live in the past, and also call it Pittsburgh because it's piss. The reason why I'll call it Pastburg for niceness terms. By the way, the reason why I have light in here is I'm running my e-bike right now that has a headlight. The reason why this area is like this is because you have a lot of old WAS laws. You have a lot of governments here that refuse to give their power up. Okay? They refuse to share their power. They refuse to share their money with anybody. They're stuck on old traditions here, and that just don't get it today. That ain't gonna make it. Not in today's times. Tradition don't work no more. So I'll be very blunt. What you have here is a lot of Irish people in charge. You have a lot of Polish people in charge. Okay? Italians also. Just because I'm American Italian, I'm not going to exclude the Italians. They're crooked just like the Irish and the Polish are around here. Okay? You've got a lot of there's all kind of nationalities here that refuse to share anything. So the trick behind Duquesne Light which is our electrical utility service company. The trick they're using right now is they're taking all this on by themselves. And it's going to take a lot more than 5 to 7 days because that damage you saw, that's just a little bit compared to some of the communities. I estimate it's going to take at least a month, maybe a month and a half before a lot of people get their electricity back. And I hope that makes a lot of people very angry. And what they need to do is they need to call an outside source in to investigate this. But the reason why Duquesne Light is taking all this on by themselves is the trick is this. When this is all over, they're going to open up their books and they're going to say to the state, "Oh, look at all the money we put out in overtime. We lost a lot of money in overtime, sir. Look at all the money we put out in new poles and wires and all the hardware. We lost a lot of money. We need you to give us reimbursement." Now, that's the trick they're using. And what they do is they skim the talk of that money and they put it in their own pocket. That's what they do here. So the state funding is going to reimburse Duquesne Light, let's say maybe $100 million. Okay. What they'll do is they'll put 80 million of that back in everything they spent out, and that 10 million will go in the people that run the company. It'll go in their pocket. That's what they do here. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you guys at all. You know what they do is they legally do it. They have legal ways to do it. They steal the taxpayers' money in a legal way. Another example is our transit company here, Pat Transit, which which what Pat Transit is it's buses. It's the buses. That used to be the crookedest organization in Western Pennsylvania. They used to be so crooked. They used to steal money, guys, left and right, and they did it legally. They the people that ran that company, and I'm talking about the union bosses, the vice presidents, the presidents of Pat Transit. They used to steal tens of millions of dollars. They legally put it in their bank accounts. They're to this day they're filthy rich. They're all probably living down in the Keys somewhere, driving them, riding a big six-engine, $20 million powerboat down in the Keys with 20 girls on top of the boat, probably living it up. But the problem with Western Pennsylvania, with the Passburg area, is you have these old traditional people from the old country, and I'm not talking about their from the old country. Their ways are passed down to him. The bigotry, the racism, and the hate from the old country is passed down to them here, and they don't share with nobody. That's the problem around here. That's why I call it Passburg, because they live in the past here. They refuse to let any new people in, and they refuse to use their new ideas because it's going to take away their money naturally. And that's why you have a situation like it is right here, where nothing changes, nothing, nothing changes. It's like with the infrastructure on here with the roads. Oh, they put in new concrete curbs. They tell people, oh, we're improving everything around here, brother. They say, hey, brother, open up your eyes and look around. Look at all the improvements we're doing. We're replacing those concrete curbs. We're giving you brand new shiny traffic lights. They're nice and bright. They're newly painted. And they're not even refurbished. They're new. They're LED. Just like in your new SUV crossover, they're LED, like all the LED gadgets you got in your crossover. Nice shiny new LED traffic lights, brand new stop sign. We replaced those concrete curbs over yonder. We're giving you brand new concrete islands. That don't do nothing for the roads, though, does it? We need more roads here. We got maybe 6 roads here, guys. The majority of them are single lane, follow the leader roads. And they are literally packed up every single morning with thousands of cars. With thousands of cars. And all these morons, they think that they're gonna get somewhere in a hurry around here behind staying like this far off someone's bumper. They think they're gonna push them down the road and they're gonna get where they're going. They can get to their Starbucks and get their coffee, or get to their McDonald's and get their breakfast sandwich a lot faster by doing that. And they do this nonsense. They do this insanity every single morning around here, and it never dawns on them that what you're doing is not working, and it's not gonna work. Because look at where you're living. You're living in an area that has old, very old infrastructure, and nothing is being done to change it because the people in charge refuse to lose the money that's going to go in their pocket. Up in Tynessa, guys, you won't have stuff happening like this because there's trees all around your house. and the trees stop the wind from blowing wires down. You never, you never hear anything like this happening up in Tynesta. Oh, they might get a little bit of snow up there. They might get maybe a foot of, maybe 1 or 2 feet of snow every once in a while. Every once in a while, not every year. But you never hear nothing like this happening up in Forest County. And that's because of the trees. The trees shield everything. A lot of what happened here with the wires coming down is from people's trees are so gigantic. They're so humongous. They've grown so out of control. And the people, man, they don't have the money to cut the trees down. They don't got it. They're all broke. Everyone's broke around here. Everyone's stone bum bucking broke, baby. They don't got money around here, man. They're stone bum bucking broke. So it's like that. The video I showed you of those trees there that came down alongside that reservoir, the reason why we don't have power here. If I remember correctly, there was three huge pine trees on the right-hand side. They're all gone now. They came down on the wires. And then the guy on the left-hand side had that big tree fall on his house, where all the logs were. There was a big pine tree there. That's gone. And then the trees that are alongside the ball field, a lot of them got sheared off, and they helped take wires down too. These all got to be cut. And they don't got the money. They just don't got the money to do it. It's like us here with these gigantic pines they used to have here. If I wouldn't have had them cut down, they'd have fell on the house. They'd have took the house out. They would destroy the house. And then I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh, the insurance company will take care of it. Oh, they will. Then they're going to turn around and they're going to want their money back. They're going to say, well, you know what? We're going to raise your insurance now. Your insurance now is going to be $3,000 a year. And since you have a mortgage on your house, you have to have insurance. If you don't have insurance, what will happen? The bank will get insurance for you. And if you can't pay that insurance, you lose your home. They'll foreclose on your house. Because when you sign the papers for a mortgage or a home loan, it's all the same thing, guys. When you sign those papers, that is in the contract. So you have to have insurance when you have a mortgage or an equity loan on your house. So don't think for 1 minute that you could bounce that back on the insurance company. Don't think that for 1 minute. And these people around here, like I said, they're broke, man. Everyone's broke around here. This area is, they've never really rebounded from the steel mill days. Oh, you might hear these past burgers say, "Oh yeah, we now have robotics here. We have all this technology here. Oh yeah, we rebounded big time back from the steel mill days." Then why is everyone broke? Where are these big jobs? Where are these big modern technological jobs that they talk about? And there isn't any. It's all bullcrap. It's all lies. You have a few of these young bucks, like the ones in Lawrenceville. They claim up and down that, oh yeah, the Passburg area is on a pinnacle of modern technology. But yet there's not one company, not one factory around here. Not one. These poor devils around here, they poshma their money by working in subways, by being hoagie technicians, by flipping burgers in McDonald's, by dunking fries in Wendy's, by cleaning people's houses with a maid service, by running around collecting scrap metal, cutting them, bumped out the beaners out of cutting grass, trying to sham dangle people with electrical work or concrete work. There is no factories around Passburg. There is none. Not that I know of. Yeah, so I did buy a generator, guys. I'm waiting. The generator should be here on. I'm supposed to get the generator on Sunday, so I got to get some gasoline for that generator because I want to be ready when it comes in. I have extension cords. I have the extension cords. See, the power goes out here all the time. It goes out here at least 10 times a year, and I'm not kidding you. The electrical grid for this area is really bad. Sometimes it goes out for an hour. Sometimes it goes out for 4 hours. The longest it's ever gone out here was 3 days. That was like 10, 15 years ago. Now this is going to probably break the record. And I hope we can move out of here. I hope we can move up to Tionesta before this happens again. We have no phone because our phone works off the fiber optic cable. We have no phone. We have no internet. We have a gas hot water here, so that doesn't work off electricity. Thank God it's warm because we have no furnace. Furnaces can't run. So thank God this happened. Now it's like 60 degrees outside. If this happened in the winter, we'd be freezing in here. Our house would freeze. And everything in the refrigerator is gone. We lost everything in the refrigerator. That's all gone. My coffee. Let me tell you how I got to make my coffee. I have paint strainers from when I painted my Honda Rebel. I got a bunch of those. I get a paint strainer. What I'll do is I'll wash it out first. They're not used paint strainers. They're new paint strainers, guys, but I still wash them out. And then the K cup from my Keurig, I cut the top open. I dump the contents in the paint strainer. And then I get hot water, with boiling water from the stove. And I dump it in the paint strainer. And I have my cup of coffee. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do as soon as I get done with this video. So yeah, there's not even, I don't even see a yellow utility light down there. They're not even there. And then while I'm at work, I can go online and I can look at the progress. You go on Duquesne Lights outage map, it's called, and it shows you your area. You put your zip code in, and it'll show your area. It'll show how many people are still out of power and the status of the crew. What it showed when the last time I looked at it when I was at work was awaiting dispatch. It's probably still like that now. It'll be like that when I go back to work. Because like I told you, they're not calling in help from out of state. And guys, there's no one you can go to. There's absolutely nobody you can call. There's no official you can call to say, hey, you know what? Why don't you do something and say, hey, why don't you guys call in out of state companies? There's no one you can go to here because they got everything. They have everything closed up, guys. They have everything sewed up here, man. Hey, son, I said they got everything sewed up. This place is horrible. Horrible place to live. Horrible. Living here, you got to have a bunch of these, a bunch of rechargeable, good flashlights. You got to have a generator, a decent generator, and you got to have emergency lights. Now, I have two emergency lights I bought years ago. I bought like 6 years ago. They're still running upstairs, believe it or not. They're still going. My Jackery, I tried charging my Jackery in the Jeep. The Jeep won't charge the Jackery because the Jeep only put that charger in with the AC outlet in the Jeep only does 150 watts, so it wouldn't charge my Jackery. So I'm going to bring my Jackery, that's my power station. I'm going to bring that to work. I have a Jackery 500. I'm going to bring that dude to work. I'll recharge it up there, and by then I'll have my generator. And I also bought another emergency light. That's supposed to be here Saturday, and I spent $72 on that dude. That's supposed to run for 14 days on low light. So I'm going to put that in my living room, and I'm going to buy some more. I'm going to buy another, maybe two more emergency lights this year, guys. The way I can have one in the kitchen and maybe one in the bathroom also. So I'll have a total of 5 emergency lights. That's what you got to do living here. Isn't that something? Isn't that unbelievable? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What you got to do to live in the Passburg area. You know, like I told you guys before, you don't see no nice cars around here. You know, like you see out of Los Angeles, they're cruising down Whittier Boulevard. You see these low riders and these classic cars. You don't see nothing like that around here, guys. You hear me? I say you don't see nothing like that around here. Hey, boy, you don't see nothing like that around here. You know, and that's because people don't have the money around here. They're struggling. They don't have nothing like that. They're literally riding around with pickup trucks. You see scrap metal on these pickup trucks. These poor devils have to do to try to scrounge up a couple dollars. Probably to buy some weed. Probably what they'll do it. They're scrounging around for maybe like 70, 80 bucks. Then they go to their boy, they buy a little weed with it. Like a half ounce of weed, or maybe a quarter ounce of weed. They go home, smoke it up, then they got to go around looking for more scrap metal. Or maybe it's buy a couple bottles of booze. But they don't got no money around here. That's why you don't see no nice cars around here, guys. You don't see no nice cars around here. You know, it's like when I take the Harley out, you can tell how jealous people are because they don't want. They try not to look at they try not to look at the bike. They're like, they got to actually force their head. They got to literally force their head in the other direction. Because they're so jealous that you have that and they don't. You have a nice car, don't bring a nice car around here. I said, don't bring a nice car around here, man, because I guarantee you they'll run their key down it like they did to my father's car. That's what they do here. A lot of jealous people around here, boy. Yeah, if you have a nice car, guys, don't bring it in the Passburg area, man. But they will run either a rock down the side of it, a nail, or a key. Some people actually have. They actually made a little gadget to run down the side of people's cars. A lot of people they actually have that. Believe it or not, I'm not sham dangling you, man. They actually have that attached to their key ring just to run scratches down people's cars that they're jealous of. That's what they do around here. So I'm going to make this. I might go down to those wires down again tomorrow. I want to see if there's any utility trucks down there. I'm going to keep up on that until the power goes back on here. So until next time, guys. Well, guys, as you can plainly see, we're still without electricity. The power went out Tuesday at 5:17. Okay, Tuesday at 5:17 Eastern Standard Time. It's now Saturday morning, 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 a.m. And there's not one truck where all those wires are down and all the trees down. There's not one truck over there. You know, it's like I said before. What they're trying to do is they're trying to take all this on. Duquesne Light's taking all this on by themselves. That way they can open up the book and say, "Look at all the money we lost. We need to be reimbursed." You know, and there's nobody you can call. There's no one you can call because everyone here in Allegheny County is crooked. The utility commission's crooked. The public transit system's crooked. The government's crooked. They're all crooked. There's the best thing to do. My advice for people is to move out of Allegheny County. That's what we're going to try to do. I've been trying to do that all my life. I can't come up with the money to do it. I hope to God when I retire, I don't retire around here. I hope to God we can move up to Forest County. But yeah, it's pretty messed up, guys. It is messed up. We're going on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going on 5 days. Our fifth day, no power. My Jackery power station. I have to recharge that at work. I was able to charge a phone up and a flashlight. The NOCO jumper I have, you can also charge onto that too. Plus, that also has an emergency light on it. What I'm going to do is once I get power back on, I'm going to go over everything with you guys. I'm going to go over the Jackery and the NOCO jumper because with the NOCO jumper, you can also charge your cell phones, your smartphones, and that has an emergency light on it also. And it's like this flashlight here, guys. I got this flashlight 2 years ago, man. This is invaluable. I'm going to get another one of these. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to buy an old-fashioned ice box. The kind where when they used to put the blocks of ice in it, they were like insulated and made out of wood. I'm going to see if somebody makes those today. Because I realized what we could have done is buy a bag of ice, put the ice in that, and then anything you want to keep, you put in that. Because we lost everything in the refrigerator. Everything's lost. Everything's thrown out. Except for hoagies. I bought hoagies because I kind of thought this was going to happen. I filled the Jeep up with gas because the Jeep also has an AC outlet in it. You can charge a flashlight. I charge my emergency light in the Jeep. You know, you can charge your cell phones in it. But I kind of saw this happening. That's why I filled the Jeep up. And I'm glad I got the generator, even though it's going to come in. By the time this is over, it'll come in. I mean, there's going to be another one. I can tell you right now. As soon as we start getting this 90, 95 degree heat here, everyone's going to have their air conditioner going. And it's going to sever the system once again. So I'm going to go over everything with you guys, what you should have during a power outage. The emergency lights, the flashlights, the some kind of a cooler or an old-fashioned ice box, a power station, you know, or at least some kind of a battery that you can charge stuff off of. I think it's a good thing for someone to go over. It's just all the stuff I have. I'm going to go over, and through my experience, I'll go over with you guys. Now, like if you guys have a e-bike, especially the Eahora Romeo, you could charge your cell phone on that e-bike. It was right behind the control panel. There's there's a little connector where you can plug your phone in to charge that. You can charge your phone on the e-bike also. I was having some trouble with the front motor. It was triggering the '08 error code. It was like blinking on and off. And I played with the motor cable and the front wheel torque, and I got rid of it. So I remember I still got a brand new controller. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that new controller in that e-bike, because I don't know if it's the controller doing. I think it's the controller that's doing it, because apparently there's nothing wrong with the motor. You know, who knows? Maybe it's the Hall sensors sense the torque was different. So, but right now the code's gone. I still have to test it. Right now it's raining. Once again, we have wind, and it's raining like cats and dogs outside. Once again, so as long as it's raining, the utility company can't make the repairs on the damage. So that's that. So with the generator, we're debating what should be ran. Me and the wife are debating what should be ran with the generator. You know, whether it's a couple fans and a TV or the fridge. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know. Okay, guys. Our camera's wobbling because it's a smooth surface. And as you see, our power came back on 4.5 hours ago. My generator also came in and my emergency lights came in. But what I want to show you guys is what I have to battle COPD. No. What I have to battle blackouts or power failures or brownouts are called. No racial terms intended, but that's actually, you know, it's like when we were growing up as kids, a power failure was called a brownout. Brownouts sometimes happen in the summer when it's like 100 degrees out and you lose power. For some reason, the urban term for it is called a brownout or a blackout. But, you know, not to make people angry today, we'll call it a power failure or power outage. So the first thing I have here is my Jackery. So let's put a light on here now since we have light. This is my Jackery Explorer 500, and that's what it costs. It costs $500. You have one AC outlet on here. This powers up to 500 watts in that AC outlet. You know, what you do is when you plug something in here, you turn the AC on. See, right now, I charged it back up. It's at 100%. It also shows you the wattage output that it's putting out. You also have DC cigarette lighter, 2 DC ports, and you have 3 USBs to charge up all your tablets and any tablet or any iPhone. This charge in here right now, this will last for years. Okay, I charged this boy up before I used it a couple nights ago. I charged it up, guys, like 2 years ago, and it stays at a full 100% charge. And this also has a flashlight over here too. So this is good to have, you know, just to power up just to recharge your phones. Next on the list is my Noco jumper. The reason why I bring this up is because this has This is where you plug your you could charge this on a computer, or you can have the AC part where this connects to. But this is how you charge it, and it has a USB, so you could charge a phone or a tablet up with this also. Right now it shows you we're at 3 lights, so we're going to charge this up for future use. And this also has a light on it too. What you can do is you take off the battery jumpers, turn it on, okay. I forget what I paid for this, but this is hold on, I want to make sure I'm putting this guy on right. Okay. This is the Noco GB40. I probably paid around like $39 for it. This will jump your car, guys. This will jump your pickup truck or any motorcycle safely. It safely, what I read about it is it figures out what kind of battery you have, and so you can jump lithium batteries with this, or AGM batteries, or regular lead batteries. Now I have 3 emergency lights. Let me show you guys those. I have 2 of these. These are made by Ideal. These you can't get anymore. I got these on Amazon. They were 39 something a piece. Right now they're unavailable on Amazon. There is a company that has these, but they want too much money for one of these. They want $127 for one of these, which is ridiculous. I have 2 of these. I have one in the hallway and one in the bedroom. And these guys, these dudes here on low power, they stayed on for days. These stayed on for 5.5, almost 6 days, and they still were shining. So God knows how long these would have stayed on for. And you plug it in here. I took the plug off to show you guys. That's low power, and that's high power. And I have 2 of these. Let me show you guys the new light I got. Okay, this is the latest one I got. This dude with shipping cost me 72 bucks. These you can still buy. This is also made by Ideal. Barely see the Ideal on there. And this is even better than the one I just showed you guys. This is supposed to stay lit for 20 days on low power. And the way these work is when you turn it on, you plug it in, they turn off. When the power goes off, these go on automatically. The one I just showed you works the same way. Okay. And we're going to keep it on low power. Now this also, oh yeah, that's where the, I forget what these are called. There's names for all these different connections, guys.
might be a Type C, but this is where you plug your the cord in that comes with it, and then you plug it in the wall, and it recharges. And these lights are supposed to swivel, but I'm not going to play with them. I think they can. Matter of fact, okay, yeah, they can. They're a little hard to move, so I'm not going to move them. All right, we're still working. And lastly is a generator. We got a generator. I think it was $470. It has. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I will take it out of the box soon. It holds 4 gallons of gas. Has 2 AC outlets. It can power our refrigerator, a TV, and a couple fans, and probably a few other things. So, and I know what you guys are saying. You have a generator. Why do you need the jack rate? Because with the generator, you don't have to burden that by plugging your devices in. You know, you can charge your devices on the Jackery on the power station, or even on that jumper. And when they run out of electricity, you plug the jumper or the Jackery into the generator to recharge them. You know, but hopefully by then it's like the lights will stay on. That one light will stay on for 20 days. These other two there, I don't know how long they'll stay on for, because they were still going strong with almost 6 days. So hopefully by then, you know, your power will be restored. I know there's actually some people down in North Carolina that went, I think, for 1 month without power. You know, so they would have to power up their lights again on the generator to have lights. You know, it's a lot of. Oh, another thing that's good to have, guys, is a small cooler. Okay, if you don't have a generator, get yourself a small cooler, just enough to put a couple things in there that's going to perish, and get some ice. You know, like some, if you have ground meat, if you bought ground meat, or like you bought cheese or eggs, you put some ice. You know, the cooler doesn't have to be a great big 80 got cooler, because the bigger the cooler is, the more ice you got to buy. You get a regular little cooler, throw a bag of ice in there, put a few things in there. You know, and I prefer, with my generator, I prefer to have my fans. My fans and the refrigerator are a priority, because what's going to happen here when the summer starts hitting is it is more humid here than down in Florida, and we're going to have like 90, close to 100-degree heat, where everyone's going to run their air conditioner, and it's going to cut the power grid, and the power is going to go out again. And I remember one year, before we had fans, before we had the Jackery, we're literally laying in bed sweating. So that's why a fan is priority, because I cannot go to sleep if I'm that uncomfortable. So that's why, guys, if you buy a generator, and if it gets hot, put your fans on those generator. If you have a dog, put a fan on the dog. You know, my Siberian, our Siberian, I don't know why I keep on saying mine. Our Siberian Husky has her own fan. It's a small one. I'm gonna buy her a bigger turbo fan before summer comes. And when that power goes out, we're gonna have that generator running a fan for her, a fan for me and my wife, and the refrigerator and the TV. So it was quite an ordeal, guys. You know, my eyes actually got used to the fluorescent light from the flashlights. It actually adjusted to fluorescent lights. You know, because another thing you guys got to have is flashlights. Preferably get rechargeable flashlights. You know, these flashlights, they're all made in China. Okay. What you want to do is when you go on Amazon, keyword flashlight torches, because that's what these are actually referred to as, or tactical flashlights. So you want to keyword tactical flashlights, police flashlights, SWAT flashlights, EMS flashlights. You follow me? Or flashlight torches. Because these dudes here, these will last for weeks. And you can charge these up on your computer, or like I said, if you have a power station, here you go again. That's why I have that power station. You can charge your flashlights up on a power station. Now, my goal is to have emergency lights in my basement as well, in my garage and in my basement. So I need 2 more. You know, the boys they're $72 a crack. So I'm not going to be buying 2 more anytime soon, guys. But that's my goal. I have 3 emergency lights up here. 1 for our bedroom, 1 for the hall, 1 for the living room. It also lights the kitchen up. You know, plus we have our flashlights too. And I want to get another one for the downstairs and another emergency light for my garage. And that, because power up here, guys, power goes out here at least 10 times a year. This is already, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time this year we've lost power. So once I have to put the generator wheels on. There's handles I got to put on. I already have a place picked out for it, and it's actually like a little house I made for it. So that'll work out good. I have my extension cords. So once I get that generator going, maybe I'll do a video of that generator. But everything's powered back up. We're back to normal. And Duquesne Light did have other companies helping them. I didn't know that, so I was wrong to claim that they did not have other companies helping them. They did have another company helping them.